Hello and welcome back to Success on Your Terms. Today I'm going to be talking with Carole all around building a community, how launches have changed in 2024, and the importance of engagement and connection when it comes to building relationships in your business. We know that what we did last year is not working the same this year and it won't into 2025, 2026. So we have to be really clear about how we create incredible relationships with people right from the start. And Carole is going to talk to us all about that. Carole, welcome. Share about you, what you do, and anything random that we would like to know.
We don't want to go too random, but yeah, thank you for having me on here. So I'm Carol. My business is CS Business Support, and I'm a community and launch strategist. I've had the business for just over 7 years now, and it's just evolved as time's gone on. I've niched down to be able to support clients more specifically with their communities and their launches. And yeah, it's basically from the community aspect, it's helping people with their online memberships, making sure that everything's running within them successfully, helping them grow their audience and the members to join, um, supporting them with their challenges and any lives and things within the communities. Launch wise, it's helping them with the planning stages of the launches, it's helping them run and manage the actual launch itself, all from start to finish, advising people on the best practice for having a launch, the things sometimes that you don't think about, advising them on what they need to remember to include in launches. So yeah, a nice mishmash, lots of different things, but really exciting.
A massive mishmash. Interestingly, as you were saying that, I was like, yeah, that wouldn't be me. But which is cool. You know, when you like, I remember having a team in corporate and everybody around me, there was years and years before, like, I used to think, no, everybody's got to be like me. They've got to do this and that, and it's got to be perfect. And then after a while, I realized, maturity, experience, that everybody else in the team had to do everything I didn't want to do, or was most of the time was just not very good at. And that's how we all complemented one another to bring in one big, incredible team. And what I love there is that you're the Carol that I'm like, yep, I need that. And that's exactly the point that we talk around with businesses. You need to be that clear, that compelling to the point where somebody in their head is listening and going, yep, yep, yeah, I need that. Let's have a conversation. And this is where I find with people in business, they get really foggy, messy, unclear. And I was sitting there thinking, like, what do you do? Opposed to when you've shared all of that, even though you think like the mishmash, it's like, it's a mishmash I need. And I know I need it because it's not what I do. And that's where it's great when you're running your own business, is that you need so many different businesses to come in and play a part to support you in your business growth. One
So
of the things I'm keen on there to talk about is like where you said you niched and you evolved. What was some of the kind of either the catalyst moments or the times where you thought like things have to be clearer and niche, or you recognize actually this is where I've come from, because that's what I'm taking from the word evolve a bit more. Where were those moments for you?
I think I think the evolving and the niche, I think it's more recognizing what I enjoy
Yeah.
and what I'm good at, and through working with clients, learning what it is that people actually need within their businesses, and matching up what somebody needs with what I enjoy doing and what I know that I'm good at doing. So yeah, just narrowing down onto that kind of thing. People need organization. I
Right.
love organization.
Right.
I'm Monica from Friends.
Yeah.
I'm that one where you have to click the lid back on the pen. So yeah, people need that organization, because they're so busy running these amazing businesses. Things they can either get missed accidentally, or they don't have time to be doing things. I absolutely thrive on organization. I love it. And so yeah, it was just recognizing what people need and marrying up with what I love.
There's definitely a spin for me this year as well, in that like often like, and what you're saying there is like what you want isn't what you need, and that's a reality. And same as me with stuff like I love accountability, and so I get it's not sexy to sell. I get people don't actually want it, even though they say they do. They don't. When it comes to it, but you need it. You absolutely have to hold yourself accountable and have somebody guide you and help you stay accountable to you through any single challenge, whether it's fitness, whether it's business, whether it's just spinning all the plates at home. You need a level of structure and accountability to help you through, and that's key. Where is an opportunity, do you think, for people to understand more about what you do in your business? Maybe someone's sitting there thinking, well, I don't need that. Like, where is an opportunity in terms of making it more of a tangible of like, I guess what I'm alluding to here is something like engagement is key, and I don't think people recognize it enough. Where are you seeing the opportunities this year for, like you said, businesses that are so busy and fast paced?
Yeah, well, on the community side, yeah, you're right. Engagement it is a huge thing. People have to feel included in your group. They have to feel like you want them in the group, and you're interested, and you need them, and they need you. So yeah, making groups the place to be, the safe space to go
Yeah,
to, sharing with them. I think helping with the engagement is making yourself like more human as well. I think a lot of engagement can fall within groups, and just on social media in general. If you come across as this like untouchable kind
yeah,
of pillar. So yeah, I think making yourself human, making yourself more achievable, people can be just like you. So sharing your personal life, what it
yeah.
is goes on with you, and yeah, just being more approachable in groups makes people want to engage more.
Yeah, that's really key. And I've seen it where I've had some mentors where maybe others have put them on pedestals. And maybe I've been perceived to be, that may be true as well, although I don't tend to think that way. Because I think, like you say, everyone's human and like we've all got our own flaws and vulnerabilities and struggles. But it's definitely interesting the part about like saying just being approachable for things. What's the impact when like go into that a bit more of the impact when people aren't or they hide things? Like what have you noticed in your experience? Maybe has worked but hasn't worked.
Yeah, I think if people are more guarded with themselves, then it kind of makes other people a bit more guarded in return.
Yeah.
If you don't open up, if you have a community, for example, the person owning the community, if they're more guarded about their futures, what plans they have, what it is that they're doing at the moment, they people don't warm to you. And if people don't warm to you, they kind of close down and
Yeah.
don't really pay attention to you, and you lose them. They'll go to somebody who they are seeing more. You don't obviously have to share everything about your life, but you just have to make people feel like they relate to you. And if you're not opening up, they'll go to somebody who is opening up and who they can feel that connection with.
Yeah, connection's massive, isn't it?
Definitely. Yeah, you have to, it is that know like trust. If you don't know about anybody, if a group like leader is keeping everything to themselves, then how you're not going to know them. So therefore, how can you like and trust them? So
Yeah,
yeah, you have to feel connected to them.
100%. What's been the proudest moment for you in 2024?
2024, I think is something's clicked. It's
Okay.
like I know for definite what I don't want to be doing. I know for definite where my magic powers lie.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's just everything just seems to have come into one this year. Everything's doing amazing. I have some amazing clients that I work with. I'm absolutely loving what I do, but yeah, everything just seems to have fallen into place. But it's taken work to
Yeah.
get to that stage. I've had to work on myself, on my business, but it's all come together, and it's such an achievement.
Tell me more about the magic powers.
Magic powers, well, they are Monica. The organization. They are they're holding the people accountable. They're making sure that people's businesses are running smoothly. The magic power of people that I work with feeling the stress and the overwhelm fall away from them, because they know that they have basically this wing woman by their side. I can tune in to what people want,
Mm.
I listen to people, I tune into what they want, doing stuff that needs to be done without being asked to do it all the time as well, doing like the little extra mile. So then my clients can just sit back, get on with what they need to get on with, and they know that everything else is still running in the background, so they can just relax a bit more.
Might be my nickname for you now, Monica.
Bit different to our Carol.
We do like our Carol. We do like our Carol. It's kind of an inside joke in a membership, but it's funny. We're talking about like the dating. What was it? It was blind date, wasn't it? And our Carol. It
Yeah,
just reminded.
Laura, Laura laughs.
Very good. But actually, interestingly, there, what we were just talking about at the start around a team, when you think of like the Monica and a friend scenario, all of those individuals as characters deliberately play different personalities and roles, right? Exactly like we're saying here, you have to have in a team. And that's probably been my biggest challenge is when I started the business, I'd be like, who can do this? And it's like, me. Who can do
Yeah.
that? Me. Whereas when I had my team, like, oh, just delegate, delegate, delegate very well, and then lead the whole operation. And then suddenly you're spinning all of the plates. And that's a huge adjustment. And it takes, well, I think one of the key words I always say is resilience. It takes massive resilience. It takes, like you said, you've got to do the groundwork on yourself. And I think, like you, this is year three now. And there's probably some correlation in that you've been working with me more this year as well, and I have like with you guys. So, you'll say similar things naturally because you're around each other more, right? It's like, being with your parents and then you suddenly start coming out the same things that they say. So there's definitely a spin though in very similar like me is that I've had to lean into what I love. And there's been certain things this year that have completely changed the narrative, even and challenged maybe some people where they may say, you could earn more doing that, you could do this. And it's like, but I don't want to. Like, what lights me up is this. And even this morning, I was thinking, if I could do one thing every single day for the rest of my life, what would it be? And it would be the VIP days. And I say it every VIP day I do, I say, I love these days. Like, I literally love them. And if I could do them every day, I'd be content. Like completely like, yep, don't even think about one other thing. Love it. Just market me on it. And it's really interesting where I've done that in other areas in the business this year. It fuels you, it lights you up more. You lean into doing more better because you're doing what you love. And it's, I guess, the challenge I've always had is up to this point with in the corporate world is like, yeah, that works nice, but there's some stuff you have to do that you don't enjoy, and that's life, and business is boring. So it's the balance of the two for sure, and that kind of seesaw effect. But I do believe in, like you said, it takes time, and it does, and people find that really restricting. They hate the uncertainty. I know in messaging, people hate the uncertainty. Cool, go and test it. Amazing, go and test that because it means it's time, etc., and time's a currency. But really leaning into what you love and and that feeling of how it makes you feel. And you said like the part of engagement community. I think that my prediction for next year is, and I keep saying it, like the world you're in, it's just got a boom because I think that people are really starting to recognize how big community is, not just online. Like there is more depth that we can go to offline as well, I think, and bringing people back together and that community. But definitely it's important to think around like what does community mean to you as a business owner, and this is why I want to do the event next month is to really hone in on bringing people together in a space and the feeling like my objection with that all the time I'm working on the day is how do I want people to feel like going on that. And it's the same if you're running any community is like every single one, like you said, like people want to feel a part of something and they want to be included. Nobody wants to feel crap. Nobody wants to feel left out or that their opinions and views aren't valid. And like sometimes we go to these things for validation. It's important. What do you see as some of the spins in how you could help more people? I guess if like we talk about the part of awareness, they're not aware that they've got a problem of this. Like, what could be some of the things happening in their business right now that you could take off their plate and help them move into 2025?
I think it is a case of obviously the first thing we need to do is have a chat
Yeah.
and see where they actually are with their business, see where they want their business to be going. But yeah, 100%. I think especially with communities, I think that key is, and I will blow my own trumpet. You either know what fits with somebody or you don't know what fits with somebody.
Yeah,
And there's so many different communities I help with, like sewing communities, property development, VAs, hairdressers. There's so many communities, but I feel like I can adapt to each
sure.
one even if I don't specifically know about developing properties, I can tune in to what people need. So yeah, that's definitely somewhere that I can help with. I can listen to first of all what the client would like to be happening, but I can
Mm.
also tune into exactly what it is that might be missing within their community.
And that's like you just said about the magic powers earlier. Like that's, I'm curious about this because I've been doing some work with somebody on my superpowers, which has completely taken me out of a comfort zone this year, to the point where I'm very aware when I say it, because people must be thinking like, what planet is she on? But honestly, it's more around really, like you just said, bigging yourself up a bit for me, like a little bit of a brag and being very audacious and a few core things that are coming through are believing in people is one. And the second one, like you said, around I hear and see what maybe others don't. Or like I remember being again when I worked with big teams and I'd have to go in and firefight some situations or some things we had going on. I could walk into a room and feel it. I could just sense how that team was being led just by walking in the room. I mean, I'd done years there, so I had experience. But
Yeah,
when you just walk in, I was like, this is a shit show. This is how this is. This I can feel it. I can see it for one, yes, but I can feel it in a team. I can look at somebody. I'm in a conversation with somebody, and I feel the lack of energy or
yeah,
motivation, drive, and those things like that. So that's a real skill to have. And again, this is where we're playing on. If you're spinning loads of plates you won't you'll be missing this, I guarantee it. You just won't see it, but you won't be aware. And we know that most of the constraints we think are constraints aren't the actual constraint, it's something else.
yeah. Totally, totally. And it's that adaptability as well. I mean, like you say, you'd walk into a room previously and you know how to read it and how to be. Again, it's the same with so many different communities. That you have to read the room.
Yeah,
You be able to adapt how you approach people, how you speak to people. So basically, how you get the vibe and the engagement going within each different one. Some communities are absolute full on. I love it, absolutely love it. But some are really full on and woo. But then other ones are more sedate, and you
yeah,
tone down how you're speaking. So yeah, it's reading the room, adapting,
yeah.
seeing what and filling that gap.
I like a balance. I like a big energy drive, but I like the points where you can just again, like you sense that actually, like bring it down a peg or two. When those, I'm finding one, the older I get as well, but when I go into those spaces and they are so like, yeah, I love a bit of that. But after a while, I'm like, it just needs to calm.
Yeah.
It's just too much for me right now. And that's us, like, it's how we grow. It's important as well. But yeah, it's a skill. It is skills that you have to learn, and I've only learned that by it's people skills.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, there are some groups and they are there literally just for the business side. They're lovely, lovely people, but they are more just for the business side,
Yeah,
whereas other groups are hyper and full on. And so yeah, it's changing for each group and making sure everyone again feels heard
yeah.
and recognized for how they are as well.
And that's definitely something I noticed is messaging is like people want to feel heard. That's what they want to do is break through where it feels really noisy to have their message heard. And that's the key is what people again, like what do people want and how can you help them to do that? That's the key. Earlier you mentioned a bit around the magic powers, but also the a little bit of a brag. Like some people would be just naturally doing that and they wouldn't even say it was bragging. They'd be like, yeah, I'm amazing. Well, yes, I do this. What have been some of your struggles or vulnerabilities that you're happy to share in terms of like the growth you've gone through in evolving the business?
Yeah, the being here in the first place on
Right.
I'm definitely a behind the scenes person normally. So yeah, pushing myself out of my comfort zone. So being more visible, doing that brag, telling the world what I know I'm good at. Normally it would have been I know what I'm good at, but I'll hide and I won't tell anybody and I'll just hope that a magic fairy will share it on my behalf. Carole's good at this. But so it's getting that confidence now that do you know what? I am bloody good at this and I am going to tell people that I'm good at it. I have plenty of clients who know I'm good at it and yeah, so it's having that belief in myself and not being worried about. I mean, I'm still not a big bragger, so to speak, because I do worry somebody will shoot me down. But it's having that confidence I've learned to have, that it's okay. It's not even bragging really, but it's okay to tell people I know I'm good at this and I know I can help you with something. How else are they going to know if you don't share it? So yeah, that's been a huge one this year is the confidence.
What if they did shoot you down?
I'd run away and cry.
Yeah.
But yeah, whereas before I'd run away and cry for like forever and ring my mum. Now, now I'm kind of like, fine, I'm not for you. Do you know what? You're possibly not for me either. So thank you
Right.
very much. Thank you for your time. But yeah, by all means, go and find somebody who is more suited to you and suited to your business.
Yeah.
And I'll carry on with people who do like my services and
Yeah.
appreciate me as a person. And
I love that. I love that. As I always think to the point of like there's 8 billion people in the world, right? that I could that I could help. Obviously, there's a language difference potentially, but the reality that so what to a degree, or like the next one, and that the rejection is part of success. The failure is part of success in getting us closer to that. And we learn quicker. I had somebody the other day, my one-to-one clients often message just whenever something comes up. That's the whole part of the service. Like if you're on a sales call, I don't want to wait till the next week to be like, oh my God, this happened. I want you to get that sale. So I'll work with you the best I can. They're messaging, sharing about something that had happened and the scenario. And it's just really important to build that relationship with them there and then and say, go and do this, go and do that, and direct people and give them the confidence on things, but also just the you won't do this again. That came up. It was like, oh, I should have done this. I said, yeah, you could have done that. Yeah, but you didn't. So it's fine. What could we do to bring it back around right now that's within our control and our gift? But also, like, you're going to learn that better than me just telling you, don't do this, do that. You've learned it for yourself. So the next time it comes up, you'll be like, oh, actually,
I
and
remember.
that learning, I said that's the transformational part. Like you can't give that to somebody. So you going through that, and this is why I say to people, just go and do it. Like give it a go because you can make anything. Like we could make this podcast perfect. We could make when you came into membership the other week and spoke and you presented, like we could make that perfect. Or you can just do it. The same as tonight, I'm speaking. First time ever, actually, in a group, not in the UK, it's in Toronto. Very different. It's only for 10 minutes. I'm saying only, like 10 minutes is 10 minutes, right? It's
Huge.
a long time still. So I'm like
It
saying
is.
10 minutes. It's 10 minutes. I've put a lot into it because I always come from the ethos as, some people think, well, as much as I say progress over perfection, I think things has to be good. I think you have to have quality. And I think that there's times in life where you get that one opportunity. So put everything into that one opportunity as well. So I am a balance on like quality. I always say like quantity, getting as much out there as possible builds a quality, but there are also certain points where it's not a black and white, and we have to just take the thin line on this and say, actually, for this one, I do need to give some more time, and I do need to make it the best I can, or feel that actually, yes, I've given it 100%. And it's one of those scenarios that I've really tailored and thought about, like, what do I want again people to feel, think, know, do, say after this? What impact do I really want to have? To give it my all, and then I'll feel kind of that, yeah, I gave it everything. It was 10 minutes, but I gave it everything. It's quite nerve-wracking, but then I think, but I know my stuff, and actually if I don't know enough of what they think or whatever, then one, they're there to help me, or two, I know them the direction of which I need to go by doing it, but I don't know that until I do it. And this is where I'm always saying to people, stop putting things off, just do it, just lean into the fears or the risks one always grates on me quite a bit because probably because in a personal way, I take big risks. I understand people have risks, but I'm also like getting in your car's a risk every day. Getting on a plane's a risk. Walking down the high street is a risk for something that could happen. Like risks are all around us. In reality, it's either a belief of, an attached belief to something that's happened before that will, maybe you've made an investment, you've been burned. That's different. And actually, I don't then take that onus on me. I think that that's on you anyway to sort through. But yeah, it's you've just got to get out there like you're doing, and I've outsiders see it, and I often think when you're running businesses, the best people to see it are your friends and your family, the confidence in you. I see it in you. I believe you see it as well, but probably other people around you will see it 10 times more.
Yeah, yeah, my friends and my family, they've all remarked like the change in me. Yeah, it's having that belief. It's not worrying about I used to worry hugely. I still do a bit, but I used to worry hugely about what people would say
Mm.
about how I look, about something that I say. If it's not agreeing with somebody else, we are allowed to disagree.
Yeah.
and and I've learned that one now. It is okay to disagree and not have the same views as somebody else, or to want to do business in a different way. There's nothing wrong with that. We're entitled to our own opinions. But yeah, I feel braver to say my piece now, and oh, maybe we could think about doing it this way, and that's in personal and business. And yeah, my family and my friends have recognized that as well. I do come across more sure of myself and more confident
Mm.
in my beliefs in things.
Brilliant. Where do you see the next 5 years going for you in a business?
I see them just getting bigger and better. I recognise the work. It takes a lot of work, and I know there's even more work to be done to carry on with this like rise that's going on in my business. Yeah, and I can, so long as I carry on putting in that work, I can only see them getting bigger and better, and it's I'm just so excited to keep doing it.
And if someone's listening to this right now and they're thinking like, "Oh, this could be for me," what are some of the other things that you feel maybe the real symptoms that your clients go through? Just so it really highlights to them thinking like, "Yeah, that's definitely where I'm at right now."
Hey, it would be a lot of things that I recognized when I first started working with them, is the time. They don't have time to be spinning all of these plates. They are maybe missing a couple of things that should have
Mm.
been done, wasn't done, or because they were rushing it didn't get done properly. I'm recognizing that they're not having time to spend with their families, personal time. You need personal time. If you don't look after your own oxygen, then everything else goes to pot around you. So people who aren't having time with their families or friends, people who are feeling stressed and overwhelmed, because they're lost as to what needs to be done. They know something needs to be done, but they can't put the finger on what it is that needs to be done to make their community shine, or to make their launch run more smoothly. They know there's something, but
Yeah.
they're too in the middle of it and too overwhelmed with what it could be, that they just can't
You don't know
quite
what
put
you
their,
don't know, do you?
yeah.
Yeah. No, it's key. And I think, like we just said, like there has to be reality you have sometimes to take responsibility and just own it and say, this isn't working for me, or this isn't how I wanted the business to be. And I always think this time of year is a part where it plays a big role in that, because people will be looking back and going like, it's October, November nearly, and I haven't achieved what I wanted to. I remember getting a client on that. I did a post on it last year. This steal this idea, but literally, I put a post out around this was a year of change, yet nothing's changed, something like that. And I said, I remember sitting on sales call, I was like, why are you on a sales call? I said, well, you put out that post saying about change, and my life hasn't changed. And I said it would be, and that really hit home. And I was like, ah, so these are the realities of what is going to change in your life. Like if you want different things right now, or things aren't how you wanted them to be, there has to be something that changes. You can't, like, doing the same thing over and over, like Einstein says, is insanity. We cannot repeat that same pattern if it's not working. And this is where I'll say to people, you can copy, I don't like that word, but you can model, copy as many people as you want. You don't know the strategy behind what they're doing. And I kind of did a bit of a test with this the other week when I said about like playing around on TikTok, and I did a bit of a boost on one. I was like, you could copy now that boost, but you wouldn't realize that it's a boost compared to all of my others. You'd be thinking it's something I've done that's amazing. I'll copy that as a template in how I filmed it or how I recorded it or what I did. But the reality is I put some money behind it. So of course it got more visibility. So it's just that point again hitting home to people of, you can't just do that. You've got to go on your own journey and do, again, you've got to fail, you've got to get your own success on things. You've got to get out there and take those opportunities, because it's not just perfectly going to fall into place without you doing that. The puzzle pieces don't start to fit. And somebody said this actually is a great idea around the work we've been doing. She was in the program with yourself and messaging that she was like, it just felt like a big puzzle piece, and slowly pieces come together. And then
Yeah.
actually, you know what? Then you realize actually that doesn't fit there. It fits over there if you're doing a puzzle like I do a puzzle. But that's what happens. It's life. So you have to get out there and do it. And like you said, it is the doing it. It is at times the hard work. I think hard work is different to hustling, but you have to get out there and put the hours in. You know, there's a book, I think it's Malcolm Gladwell, where he talks about 10,000 hours of one thing get you to the mastery. So if you want to do tennis, go and do 10,000 hours of tennis. It's
Yeah.
that idea. So in your own business, where are those areas that you need to give the time, but also the focus? The focus is, I think focus would be my word for 2024. If you can
Absolutely.
focus on you,
Absolutely.
your business, it changes a lot.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And we all have to play to our strengths as well. So
Yeah,
it's one, you can have all these amazing ideas, what you want to do with your business, where you'd like to see yourself. But if you're not, either if you're not prepared to put the work in, or if you're struggling with something, I'll hold my hands up. I hate Canva and doing things like graphics and things on social media. So I recognize that, and I then use other people. I have other people support me to do that. So yeah, so it's first of all, you have things that you want to achieve, you have to go out and achieve them. You
yeah,
can't just sit there at the end of the year going, oh, I wanted to change, but you didn't do anything. But I think it's also a case of recognizing you need to play to your strengths. One
yeah,
person this, like one person's, again, if they have a community, they're amazing at what they know, they're expert at what they know, but they don't know the community side. They don't know how to keep the community buzzing. They're genius at their knowledge, but they don't know how to get that community going. So yeah, huge one on playing to your strengths as well. Makes the business all come together. As you say, the jigsaw puzzle pieces all come together.
yeah. I was having a conversation with somebody last week because we did DISC, you and I, and personality profiling, and that the whole purpose of DISC centers around your strengths and what you're great at, and leaning more into those opposed to your weaknesses or your opportunity areas, whatever you want to call it. And I was talking to somebody who leads a team, and like anything, right? You can only market one thing at one time. That's always my challenge. And she said, "Oh, I didn't even know you did all this." And I was like, "Well, yeah, I've spent years in leading teams. Like this is my thing." And then we just spoke about like how I can be maybe potentially helping her. So I'm putting through a proposal and things right now just to say this is what it could look like. This is difference it can make to your team in terms of revenue, team development, you know, business growth, everything. But like you said there, giving that boost of confidence to somebody to do that and that they feel good. People want to feel good. People want to feel safe, as you said. Give that to people in a community space and then watch them grow from there. But we almost have to, it's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. They need that sense of belonging, that they need those things before. And I think anybody who's going to start wants to build a community. I think I think that's changed a lot this year for communities. And I guess I speak bias. I hate Facebook group ones, but that's a bias I know. But anyway, you want to create community, go and spend some time with yourself, but also start to think about, like you said, those sort of things more opposed to oh, I want to have this in it, all the features. Think about how do you want people to feel? What do you want to have as the space? Is it intimate? Is it big? What? And really start to think those things because I don't think what I want to be achievable is possible the same way in a big group. So I have to keep mine very intimate and I make it that. But then, it becomes that when we're talking like a numbers game as people doing business, it's never going to have that scope. So you have to be content with what it is as well. And it's all these questions that I think lots of people rush into memberships, communities and things, and they don't think and ask them, but they're so important to do. And that's where, like you said, like you won't naturally think of those things. You have to have somebody to prompt that and guide you and help you. And also just be that brainstorm with you. That's so healthy. That clarity comes from there.
Definitely, yeah. I think the brainstorms. I don't know if I come off buzzing more from a
Yeah,
brainstorm session than the client, because I can just see so many exciting things that they can do with their community,
yeah,
and it lights me up thinking this is something you can take that I'm suggesting to you, and you can just fly with it. It really
yeah.
does light me up just knowing how much something can boost their business.
Love that. I always ask, and it's one of the only the formal questions I have on the podcast, but what does success mean to you?
Freedom.
Okay.
in a nutshell. My family, my husband and my two children are the absolute world to me. So success to me is having my own business that gives me the freedom to be able to be with my family as and when needs be, to spend time with them, to go out and have the treats. So yeah, it's all my clients are amazing as well. Absolutely. I couldn't do this without my clients. But yeah, success is definitely being able to be with my family.
Love that. Love that. Where can people find out all about how they can work with you and connect with you?
So I have my website, which is csbusinesssupport.co.uk. I'm also over on LinkedIn as Carole Searle, and you'll also find me on Instagram under CS Business Support. But
Love it.
yeah, anyone wants to get in touch, fabulous.
Yeah, look, I highly recommend you. I'm not just saying that because like we work together, but it's important because it's opened my eyes up. Like you helped me in my recent launch on things as well, and it just took like I didn't want to have to worry about certain things. Like I said, like it's not me. I'm not great at it. I was like, I just want someone to do it who can help me on it, but also it's the peace of mind within that. There's another one for you to use, peace of mind. That it's just done because I trust you and I trust you'll deliver. And I have to go like, oh, Carol, just do this. Oh, Carol, just do that. Like it's done. And I love that. And that's so important to people. And I miss again, like I miss these things from working with people in a bigger team and things. So if you haven't got that, there are people that can absolutely support you right now as well
Yeah,
in the things. And they make a huge difference just in even in terms of how then you're perceived by your other, like prospects or clients as well. That the use of just like you said, brainstorming, having a conversation with you, even if it's a no, no for now, yes, like all of those options are fine, but like you don't know until you give it a go and see what it could explore to. And I know there's points in my career and my business journey where I look back and think, is that one catalyst moment that changed everything? It doesn't have to be massive, it doesn't have to be a huge investment all the time. It could be that one catalyst thing and it changed everything, but you've got to open the door to that.
yeah, totally. Yeah, you need that switch as
Yeah.
such go off in your head, and yeah, to either realize something or to have done something, and then yeah, you're off then, off
Carol,
and running.
it's been a great conversation. I've loved the time with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
I really hope this podcast has taught you something that you never knew before. I want to expand what you think is possible and get you thinking differently in your life and business. So I would really love your feedback. If you're on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube, all you need to do is leave a review and share what you like. And if you would like to know more about how I can help you with your messaging or business, making more money, send a message with the keyword podcast and I'll send you a complimentary audit with me where I will have you looking at your business and you will walk away with free actions to be making more money in your business right now.